Hello, welcome to ELI Rubrics. My name is Dr. Alicia and I have been asked to provide a workshop on the writing rubric used in ELI to assess students' writing. Okay, let's make a start. So, just give you a quick introduction as to what this workshop will involve. So really what we want to do is we want to make sure that you are clear about what the writing rubric is about and how you're going to use it. In this session, we hope that we make that easier for you and that there are some explanations as to how the rubric works and why we're using it to grade our students' work. The whole aim of this is to make sure that we keep grading in a consistently reliable and fair style. So let's make a start. Okay, so in this session, we are going to be watching these video segments. We have some questions attached with this video. We hope that you will submit your answers in an interactive workshop worksheet. So the first thing that we're going to start off with is we're going to explain what the writing rubric is. Then we're going to explain how the writing rubric works. And then hopefully we're going to explain the criteria and the categories for the rubric. And finally, we're going to be working through some examples using it. So let us introduce you to the ELI All Tracks Writing Rubric. Here are the categories involved: impact and appropriacy, and task achievement. These two are very important. There are yes/no category. So when you first receive a piece of writing, you will decide on impact and appropriacy and tasks achieved. And that will be the deciding factor if you should continue to mark that piece of work or no. If the work is not on topic or isn't of appropriate impact, appropriacy, then it can be given a 0, and we will talk about that in a bit more detail a bit later. So once we've said yes to impact and appropriacy and tasks achieved, we can then judge how good the writing is with the remaining 4 categories that we have. So organisation and cohesion, grammar and mechanics, and vocabulary and spelling. And we're going to look at all of those in a little bit more detail in just a moment. Here is the rubric. You can see the categories listed on the left: impact and appropriacy, tasks achieved, organisation and cohesion, grammar and mechanics, vocabulary and spelling, and also across are the grades or the bands. So at the top end, the maximum grade is 1, and then working down 0.75, 0.5, 0.25, and that 0 there. Okay, so that's to show you what the rubric looks like overall. Let's break down the rubric and let's have a look at the categories in a little bit more detail. So the first thing that you want to do when you receive a piece of writing is to decide if the writing is on topic. And we do that in impact and appropriacy category. So let's have a look at that. And we ask a question: did the learner include the relevant content, meaningful register about the topic? What does that actually mean? And we've decided to really define this as close and as clear as we can. So what it is, it's the degree to which there's an appropriate topic and register match. And that's the key word here, the match between the student's writing, the production of that, and the writing topic being asked of them. So in other words, the teacher must be able to assess if the writing submitted addresses the writing topic in any shape or form, and that submission has some relevance, however minimal, to the topic presented in the writing task. Okay, so any match at all between what you've been given and what you've asked them to write about. And it doesn't matter if it's really quite minimal, then they are somehow on topic. And we will discuss the degrees of how much someone can be, or how much a piece of writing can be on topic in just a moment. The second thing that we need to do is we need to decide if that writing, if the submitted piece of work has answered or addressed the instruction and the prompt within the writing question. What does that look like? That is done in Task Achieve, and we ask the question, did the learner fully complete the task? We break that down because we want to explain that that means the degree to which there is an appropriate instructional match between the student's writing and the writing task being asked of them. So in other words, does the writing submitted address the word count, the writing instruction, and the writing prompt? In the writing, in any shape or form at all, does that submission have any form of relevance, however minimal, to the question being presented in the writing? Okay, so the three things that we keep an eye out for in Task Achieve: word count, the writing instruction, and the writing prompt. And we're going to break those down and look at that in a bit more detail. Here is an assessment question. It has come from Unit 4 from track 102-2, and it's the weather and climate from Unlock 2. And the question is, write a paragraph to compare the weather in two places using information from the graphs. Write at least 90 words. So let's see if we can match up the impact on appropriacy and task achievement to just a question so that we can understand how that's been organised. So starting off with impact and appropriacy, which really addresses the topic, what you're asking the student to write on. What topic is it that they're supposed to write about? And in that question, it's the weather. So here you're looking in the writing for anything that's related to weather, any weather collocations, any references to weather, anything to do with weather in any shape or form, however minimal, means that that student has answered on topic. Now, some will answer on topic better than others, and that's where we get the banding and the grading. But if there is anything in that piece of writing that's related to weather in any shape or form, however minimal, it means that that student is now on topic, and you should proceed to continue marking the piece of writing. The next category that we focus on from that question is the Task Achieve. And as I said before, the Task Achieve focuses on three main features. The first is the writing instruction, the writing prompt, and the word count. Let's start off with the easiest one, which is the word count. Really, you're looking for a number, and in the question, there will be a limit of a minimum word count, and this is what we go for from now on. We don't give a range of give me between 70 and 90 words. That's quite confusing. What we say is give us a minimum of. If you wish to write further than that, go ahead, but this is the minimum required for you to have this counted as part of your Task Achieve. So here you're looking for a number of words. Perhaps you're going to, later on in some cases, you may find number of sentences, but definitely there is some kind of accountability in terms of numbers with that, okay? The other part of this is the writing instructions. So let's look at the writing instructions within this question as an example. We've asked them for a paragraph. This is what we want them to do. And we've also asked them to use the information provided in the graph so that they can do the writing that we want them to do. The final part of this is the writing prompt. And the writing prompt is, what is it that we want to see in the writing structure submitted? So the writing instruction is use the paragraph, write a paragraph, use the graph, but when you do that, the prompt is to compare. I'm looking for comparison. I want to read that in that writing structure as I mark your work. So that is breaking that down in quite a bit of detail. Having a look at the question again. And now we can see really how those components come together. So these are our yes/no categories. When you first receive a student's piece of writing, this is the first two things that you need to check. Impact and appropriacy. Are they on topic? And task achieved. Have they answered the writing instruction, writing prompt, or word count in any shape or form, however minimal?